Today is also very special because I've asked Kat to share her story with us. I have found throughout the years of my ministry that one of the most powerful things I do is what I call a story of a hero's journey, or stories of triumph. That every person here has their own hero's journey, as Joseph Campbell talked about, that we're all on this journey of discovering the elixir of our own soul, the gold or the God of our own being, cultivating it and bringing it forth to share it in the world. And that as such, we all have what I would call a story of triumph. Kat has graciously agreed to share her powerful story. So would you please welcome her, Kat Williams.
Well, I'm a little bit nervous. It's my first time in front of a microphone. But it's different when you're singing somebody else's song or telling someone else's story. But when you're telling your own, it just kind of grabs you a little bit. So, please say Mary Ann Williams with me. Mary Ann Williams. Say it one more time. Mary Ann Williams. Mary Ann Williams was my foster mother. I was the 31st foster child they ever had in their home. And I was the very last. So that should tell you something. But she was a pretty extraordinary woman to open her home and her heart to so many children. And Mama Mary usually took in the children that nobody wanted in the system. You know, kind of like the throwaways. People didn't want to deal with their issues, but she always opened her door to them. Not only to them, to any child or anyone who wanted to receive help. Nobody went hungry with us. You know, I didn't know what an impact this beautiful being had on my life. She was one of those mothers. I got lucky. She told me the story of when she first met me. I was the neighbor's child. My biological mother was 14 when she had me. And so my foster mother was worried about her, so she went to the hospital just to check on my mother. And she went down to the nursery, and they pointed me out to her, and she said, I smiled at her. And she said, from that time, she knew she had to have me, from that smile. And I was with her until her death. I was her caregiver. 9 years old, I started to give her insulin shots. I could balance a checkbook at 9, and I could sign her name better than she could. At 9. I had other foster brothers and sisters, but again, she took in children that were not compliant to the system. So my brothers and sisters would tend to be in a lot of trouble. So that left me to be her caregiver at a young age. So I used to always take care of her. And it's so funny because one day I said to her, Ma, I want to be an astronaut. She's like, oh, baby, you want to be an astronaut? I said, yeah, I'm going to the moon. And she's like, tell me what that looks like. And I had to explain to her what that looked like, all the way to what my breath smelled like in my helmet in space. That's the type of mama I had. She never said you couldn't do anything. She said you could do anything you put your mind to. Don't let anybody stop you from doing anything you wish to do in your life. She's like, there's always going to be naysayers, but 3 things she taught me, Mary did. Number 1 is, one monkey don't stop no show. The second thing was, God don't like ugly. And the third thing is when they give you hate, give them love. And that's been my motto. So I took care of my mom until I was 17 and she passed away. And I was homeless after that. None of my brothers and sisters were in a position to take care of me. So I knew I had to take care of myself. So what I did was, the kids in high school, each week I'd stay with somebody different so nobody would know I was homeless. until somebody went and ratted me out to the principal. And I had to answer, and they got me the help I needed. But back then, I remember 81 was the number for me. I remember social services gave me $81 to live on a month. And to be 17 and live off of $81 is not a lot. But I made it work. I made it work. And I was very fortunate that my teachers in a public school came out and was like, whatever help you need, we're here to help you. We're here to help you. I was never alone on a holiday. Each teacher would take a turn and take me to their home on a holiday. I was never alone on Christmas or Thanksgiving, and they even remembered my birthday. I remember my senior year during prom, I couldn't go because I couldn't afford to buy a dress. And my teachers found out that I wasn't going to attend prom. They took a collection up, and they even got somebody to take me shopping. And they got somebody to do my hair, and I felt like a princess for a day. And it was awesome. When I walked in, I just felt so proud and loved. And I walked in, and they all stopped and clapped because I made it to prom, and they helped me make it that far. When my mom died, my friends never left me alone. They came over and spent time with me and watched TV. I've never watched so much Wheel of Fortune in my life. So then I went and I received a softball scholarship to college. And I wasn't even that good, to be honest. But you never know where your blessings come from. I had only been playing softball in high school for 2 years. And I went to this softball tryout. And I remember all these girls from all these, upper echelon schools. It was to a private Catholic school, Niagara University at the time in Niagara Falls, New York. And these gals had the right cleats on, and they had their uniforms look pressed. And here I come with my little shorts on and T-shirt and raggedy glove and this and that. And I'm out there against these gals, and I'm like, wow, even their hair is done. I'm like, we're playing softball. Why do you need your hair done? And so during this tryout, I said, you know what? I may not look as good as them, and I may not be as good as them, but I was like, I got more heart than these gals. I know I do. And I said, all I got to do is just put my heart and soul into this. And I was like, I got this. I got this. And I worked my butt off. She'd hit a ball to me in outfield. Man, I chased that sucker down, and I was exhausted. I was exhausted. And I got to the point where I was in a frenzy and just in tears, saying, hit me another ball. Hit me another ball. And she's like, calm down, honey. It's okay. So I remember 2 or 3 weeks passed by, and she called my high school and said, we're giving a scholarship to Cat Williams. And I got that scholarship to college. And she was so awesome to coach, because she said, you may not have been as good as any of those girls out there, but you had heart, man. And she said, everything I hit to you, you chased down. Not one time did you ever stop. And she's like, that's what we need here. And she said, that's what these scholarships are for. And it was so awesome. I got a scholarship to college. Otherwise, I would have never gone to college. So here I am in college, still broke. And I turned into a referee for intramural sports. So I was the only female referee for men's basketball. And I remember they used to pay me $11 a game, but I made it work again. You just have to make it work. So I did that, and I had a roommate whose father worked for the New York State Department of Labor. And he used to send us these notices for jobs, toll booth taker, and all these. So they sent corrections. And I was like, whatever. So I filled it out, got called, took the test. They called me 2 months later and said, we'd like an interview. I went to the interview, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I ended up getting a job as a prison guard at 20. So here I am in the state of New York at 20, and what is the first facility they put me in? Sing Sing. Sing Sing. Oh, boy, is that a culture shock walking in there, boy. And being a woman to walk in the Sing Sing Correctional Facility in Ossining, New York. And boy, I never forget my first day. And I heard somebody yell, "Fresh meat!" And I was like, and I had to really think, do I really want to do this for a living? Do I really want to do this? Well, let me tell you, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, is to work in the prison system, because it helped me to appreciate people no matter what walk of life you come from, and not to judge. I wasn't a judge and jury of those guys in there. I was there for 3 things: care, custody, and control. That's it. That's it. And they knew they could count on me if they had a problem to come to Miss Williams, and Miss Williams was going to handle the problem for them. And then later I became a training officer, and I used to teach unarmed defense tactics to female officers. I threw around a lot of bodies, y'all. Yeah, it was awesome. It's like I get paid to toss people across mats. I'm like, this is great. And later on in my career, I decided to become a complete training officer, and they made me a hostage negotiator. And so that's what I did in the prison system. I was a hostage negotiator, which was a little difficult and a challenge, but again, you get to know people and who they are and what makes them tick. So I did that. So for years, you know, I did that and worked in the prison system. I moved here to North Carolina and started to work for the Buncombe County Sheriff's Department, and did that for a while. And then I needed a hobby. And most of those guys, they introduced me to white lightning. And I had no clue what white lightning was until I tried white lightning. And they're not kidding. They should call that stuff TNT. That is not lightning. That's a bomb exploding in your head, that stuff. But I didn't want to get in the habit of doing that and hanging out with those guys and having cocktails. You know, law enforcement has the highest divorce rate out of any profession. It's tough. It's a tough business to be in. So I wanted to do something that was non-destructive to myself and to other people. So I went to karaoke. So here I am at karaoke. At karaoke. And what happens? I got discovered at karaoke. There was a club owner there that heard me and said, "Hey, we're opening the club in a year, and we'd like you to be our house singer. What band do you sing with?" I'm like, "Band?" I said, "I work for Buncombe County Sheriff's Department." Yeah. And they're like, "You're kidding." And I'm like, "No, ma'am. I am not." And I remember that hat I had. And what I should have done is brought you a picture of what I looked like with my uniform on. Pretty spiffy, y'all. So, year later, I get a call a couple months and says, "Hey, we're ready to open our club. You ready?" No. I knew 11 songs when I first started singing. 11 songs. And I knew, I'm going to tell you guys a secret, but I'll deny this to the very end. I couldn't work in the prison system anymore because it just got to the point where it was becoming too dangerous. Too many young people were coming in. They act on emotion. They don't think things out like old criminals do. Old criminals, it was us and them. New criminals, they'll take you out. And I'm like, you know, I'm getting a little bit too old for this, to be tossed around by 16-year-olds that are incarcerated. So I resigned. And I said, I need a job, so I went to work as the meter maid downtown. So I was the parking enforcement officer. No, this is good. It's all connected. It's all connected. So when I started singing at the club, I'm like, if I want to sing for a living, I need a fan base. So this is what I used to do. And I'll deny this. But some of you in here might have been some of those people. When I gave stop the tape, please. When I gave people a ticket, and I was like, are you local? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, well, I'm singing at this club downtown. And if you bring your ticket in, I'll void your ticket if you come to my show. So the club owner could not understand how I had a line of people outside 2 days out of the week. And she's like, I cannot believe these many people. I said, they love this club. They must love this club. And that's how I built my fan base. That's how I built my fan base. But that's how I got a buzz about me about town. Was there's a line outside to see this gal. She must be really good. With 11 songs. So that worked for about a year. And another club owner came to me and said, hey, I see that line outside. You need to come work for me. And I'm like, well, I'm happy where I'm at. He said, let me tell you something. I've got the biggest club in town. You need to come work for me. He's like, write down on this piece of paper how much you want to make. I started adding tickets up. Okay, so I wrote a big number down on a piece of paper, folded it and handed it to him. He said, oh, that's a big number. He's like, but because you asked for it, I'm going to give it to you. And I worked at Magnolia's. For those of you who used to see me at Magnolia's, I was at Magnolia's for 8 years as the house singer on Friday nights. 8 wonderful years. I learned my craft there, let me tell you. Well, the prison helped me because I learned how to sing the blues in jail. That's what I tell people. I see some of the guys that I used to be an officer with used to come by and visit me at the club. And they'd go, how do you know Cat? He was like, oh, we were in jail together. Yeah, we were in jail together. I got street cred, you know? And so I started this thing with being at Magnolia's because I'm like, wow, I'm okay financially here. I'm doing what I love. So how can I give back to my community? So what I used to do is the homeless that were on the streets of Asheville, what I used to do was take them to Goodwill, buy them an outfit, and then give them a night out. And that used to be my thing. And they used to all, and I said, go tell your friends, you know, like once a month we'll have this night where everybody can come in and just have a good time. I'm not buying anybody alcohol, but you can come have a meal, dance, and just have a great time. And I did that for years. I did that. And it was nice recently, my partner Patrice over here, and I saw one of the guys I helped years ago. And he is so together now, y'all. And I'm going to get him to come here. He needs to be here. He really does. But he is so together. He was so happy. He was in tears. He's like, Cat, I got my own car now. I got myself an apartment. And this guy is he's got to be in his late 60s. But, you know, most people, you know, homeless and you're that old, people, you know, don't want to give you the time of day. But it was something about that guy, man. Everybody's life has value. Every life has value. And I was taught that. Mary taught me that. Nobody, God doesn't just put you on this earth to put you. You're just not, here you go. You know, well, we already know God has a sense of humor. But, I mean, really, we're all put on this earth. We all have purpose. We all have purpose. It's just a matter of trusting and having faith in what that purpose is, whatever that purpose may be. I never thought in a million years I'd be a singer. I never. It didn't even cross my mind. I thought I'd be a comedian. but I never thought that I could actually sing and make a living at being a singer. I never thought that, but that was a gift. And to be honest, my father was Catholic and my mother was Baptist. So each week I'd switch off on going to the Baptist church and going to the Catholic church. So I'd go to the Baptist church and they'd be, Lord, my joy, tambourine, and they'd be rocking out. And then I'd go to my dad's Catholic church and they'd be singing Eagles Wings. Just kumbaya, just we're all just happy here and we're out of here in 1 hour. We're out of here in 1 hour. You know? And it was the only, they heard me sing and they said, Kat, you should go out for the choir at the Catholic church. Now, one of my foster sisters, who's 20 years older than I am, was in the choir. So she's like, Trini, you really should come sing. And I was like, okay. So I came and I was with the choir and I was singing Oh Happy Day. And I'm, did Jesus walk when Jesus walked? And I noticed I was the only one singing. I was the only one singing. Needless to say, it was the only choir I got kicked out of. So, that's why I'm not Catholic right now. Wait till I go back and sing in that congregation. Got something for you. Yeah. So they kicked me out the choir, and because I had too much for them in there. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I feel very blessed. I have angels in my life. Everywhere I've turned, I've had an angel. I've had an angel at every turn. Because I'd start to go this way and they'd go, you need to go that way. I'm like, oh, okay. And I listen to that and I completely trust my instincts. You know that little voice that you get sometime when you're ready to do something really silly? And then you go and do it anyway? And then you go, God, that was silly. You gotta listen to that little voice. That little voice tells you all the time. I listen to that little voice and I trust my instincts. And a lot of times I don't know where I'm going. Like right now. I don't know. I'm up here with this microphone and I'm telling you about my life and the struggles that I've had. But I never lost my faith. Because I was like my mama Mary. Her faith was unwavering. She had faith and she believed that God will never give you more than you can handle. And whatever situation that you're in right now is just temporary. It's a temporary state of being. It's just temporary. Learn something from it and she's like, baby, move on. Move on. And so I listened to that. I listened to everything she had to say. And her legacy is amazing. I hadn't spoken, after she passed, I hadn't spoken to my family in over 25 years. We all kind of fell apart and went our separate ways. But my nieces found me on Facebook, which is a wonderful tool. So 2 years ago, we had this giant Williams family reunion in Buffalo. That's where I'm from, Buffalo, New York. And I didn't go during the winter, so I was okay. But during Thanksgiving, I went to Buffalo and we reunited with all my brothers and sisters and their children. And it was awesome. Until today, we all keep in touch with each other. We're all on a chain, making sure everybody knows what everybody's saying. Happy birthday, anniversaries, all kinds of stuff. So next year, we have a big reunion on my mom's her birthday. We're going to have a reunion in Buffalo. And so we're all going to get together and we're going to visit her grave because I have never been to my mom's grave since the day she passed away and we buried her. So we're going to have a party at the cemetery, y'all. We are. We're going to celebrate just like she would. We're going to celebrate. I appreciate the gifts she gave me. And sometimes I was so fearful and afraid. I'd think, has God forgotten about me? Did he forget me? Did I do something? Did I do something wrong here? And most of the time, he was just waiting on me. He was waiting on me. What do you want to do? I'm with you. And if nobody has your back, God's got my back. He's got it. He's got my back, my front, and my sides too. And through my career, I've done some really amazing things. I sang for President Clinton, which was awesome. I sang for General Colin Powell, which was amazing to meet him. I've been on tour with Jay Leno, Shaka Khan. I've done all kind of cool, fun things, and I kind of see it as having a Forrest Gump lifestyle. You know that movie Forrest Gump? It's like he wipes his face and then you got the smiley face on there. That's how my life has been. It's a Forrest Gump lifestyle. Because I don't know what's going to happen, but I look forward to it, no matter what it is. Just like I looked forward to being here today. I was a little fearful, but, I embraced it, and I'm up here right now. And thank you, Rev. I appreciate that.